Hi Surrender Sisters, welcome to the channel. My name is Tyra. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And today I'm going to be discussing a dream that the Lord gave me and led me to share with you guys. The title of this video is called Table for One. Table for One, and it's about being chosen, about being set apart and separate. I'm sure you guys already know with your walk with God, it's not easy. I mean, and sometimes we go through things that we question and like, Lord, what's going on? Am I being punished? Did I do something? Like, you need an explanation because the warfare is so severe. And the Lord was revealing to me it's because we're chosen. And so this dream is like his response to me when I was questioning him about it, like what I was going through. And so I'll read the dream, and then I have I'm looking down because I have my notes. I'll read the dream and then I'll give you the interpretation that he gave to me. All right, so I was at this restaurant and they were adding on another section of the restaurant, but it would only include one table. There was this carpenter there doing the finishing touches, and he was holding this large door about to install it so they could place the table there. Once they finished everything, I noticed that the table was bigger than the other tables that were there. It was a part of the restaurant, but it had its own section, if that makes sense. So they were building another section, and it would just only be one table in one chair. All right, so it was a part of the restaurant, but it had its own section. Someone could still see the other guests, but they were separated. So you could still see everybody in the restaurant, but they were just separated. So they could see you as well, but you just had your own section. Okay, and then I was trying to assist the owner with the lighting for the table because the light she was using was dim. I was telling her to use a brighter light for the table because it was bigger, but she wanted it to look like the others. And once she showed me what it looked like, I just said, okay. And basically that was the end of the dream. All right, so now here's the interpretation. So at the restaurant, and hold on 1 second. Okay, so we're they're doing an addition to the restaurant, and they're adding on another section, but it would only include one table. And so the Lord said, you are chosen, set apart for my glory and my use. Your story, your table will not look like the average person. You were created for more. You will endure more. It's intentional. So you can't compare your walk to anybody else's. And I think a lot of times we do that. We'll start looking at, well, I know I'm doing all this over here, and this person over here seem to be prospering or whatever, but all hell is breaking loose in my life. And that's what God was saying. We can't compare our walk to anybody else's because everybody is different. We don't know what's behind the scenes, what's going on. We just have to stay focused on what God is calling us to do. But when we are chosen for his glory, for his discretion, at his discretion, we're going to go through some things. Okay. All right. And then the next part. All right. The carpenter, who was there doing the finishing touches, and he was holding this large door about to install it. The table couldn't look like the others. It was created to be bigger, had to have its own section. So your own calling, the mantle that you have, you are created to be set apart, different from everybody else. It's your signature style that God created specifically for you. So we aren't to mimic anybody else's calling or what they're doing. And then the next part of the dream is, all right. And then I said that I noticed that the table was bigger than the others there. And the Lord said, a bigger calling calls for a bigger table. What you carry your calling, your mantle, where God is taking you is greater. And then the next part, it was a part of the restaurant, but it had its own section. Someone could still see the other guests, but we were separated, so they could see me or whoever's sitting at the table, and the person sitting at the table, they could still see them, but it was separate. And then he spoke and he said, although the table was in the restaurant along with other people, it was bigger and designed for one person. Only you can sit at it, but others were around and able to see it. He was sitting you in the presence of your enemies and spectators. Not everyone will be privy to sit at your table. God will bring the right people at the right time. Your oil is not cheap. There was a cost to sit at this table, and you endured, you sacrificed so you can dine. So basically God is saying that he will bring the people, but why would he allow just somebody to just come and enjoy what you sacrificed for, what you've endured, what you went through, to just come and sit at your table just to enjoy and reap the benefits, the fruits of it? And they didn't go through anything. They didn't do anything. They decided to walk away. And the next part, me telling her to use a brighter light for the table because it was a bigger table. So obviously it would need a bigger light. God said, you are called to represent me and be a light. So your light has to shine brighter. You're at a bigger table. You're chosen. God requires and expects more. Okay, the next part, the owner wanted the lights to look like the others. And once she showed me, it looked like it was okay. I just said okay when she was showing me. But the Lord was saying, when you are actually sitting at the table, there is a distinct difference. No random dim light will do. The table and the area was bigger. We can't look like everybody else. We are chosen, set apart. The light may look like it will suffice, but it won't. It has to shine brighter. So if it's a bigger table, obviously it has to have a bigger light. We won't look like everybody else. Our light will shine brighter just because of who God has called us to be. And then the Lord went on to further say, he said, I know this journey is not easy. It's not for the faint at heart, but my grace is sufficient. This is where many are called, but few are chosen comes in. I've called many, but only a few will accept. Those are the ones I've chosen, the ones willing to obey, please, and live for me. And then he goes further on to say, which this part right here blew my mind. He said that those who the critics and the naysayers, those who, are condemning you and thinking that you're crazy, or, God didn't tell you this, or no, he didn't say this, you're just doing this, or whatever they want to say. He said, those who are quick to pass judgment on your walk refuse the call. Those who are quick to pass judgment on your walk refused the call. They refused to go as far as the Lord wanted them to go. Oh, well, it got too hard. It got uncomfortable. Well, no, I can't leave my job like this. Oh, no, I can't give up this car. Oh, I can't give up this house. What are you saying, Lord? This makes no sense. No, I'm not, I'll walk with you as long as it's comfortable for me. But when it gets uncomfortable, when I got to sacrifice, when I got to fast, when I got to pray, no. As long as I'm comfortable, then I'll follow you. But when I have to look crazy in front of somebody, no, I'm not going to do that.
Cornelius stared at him in terror. What is it, sir? He asked.
It's all right. I was listening to my Bible app before. I hope I can edit this, but if not, okay, y'all give me a little grace. But anyway, that is insane. Okay, anyway. All right. And so the final part that he has on here, he said, daughter, don't let your light go out. Let it keep shining bright. Despite your situation, dinner is served. The table is set. Get ready to feast. Table for one. Table for one. So God has set the table. Dinner is served. get ready to feast. You're going to be feasting in front of those who talked about you, the ones that called you crazy, the ones that criticized every move you made. It's going to be table for one. God, no access. They cannot dine, because that's when they'll want to dine. You know, when God has elevated you, when he's taking you to the next level, to the next place, you know, you're out of that season of lack that you were in. But that's when they'll want to come and dine, you know, when they see what God has done. And God is like, no, it's table for one. No, you'll be able to see me, like in the restaurant. You'll see me, but you won't be able to get through the door. You won't be able to come and see, but there's only one chair. So you'll be in the restaurant. They'll be in the restaurant. They'll be able to see you, but can't come to the big table. There's a big door right there, but there's glass, so you'll be able to see me. They'll be able to see you. All right. So I think that is it. I pray that this made sense to whoever needed to see it, and making sure. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, but I pray you guys have a wonderful day. If this message blessed you, I encourage you to share it with someone. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.